we are making old school gravy-based beef stew. And I don't like stew meat, so I took a 2.5-pound chuck roast and I just cut it into little bite-sized pieces. And then we're gonna salt and pepper the crap out of these, all right? This is something that intimidates people, is making a roux and then starting a beef stew that way. It's super simple. Let me show you how to walk through this, okay? All right, so let's get some salt and pepper, and don't be shy. You really wanna get in there with the seasoning on the meat. I've got my Martha Stewart Dutch oven. I use it for everything. Y'all know I love it. It's my Walmart storefront. It's fabulous. So let's brown our meat first. So let's get this going. Let's heat this up. So typically for me, I do a red wine and tomato paste based beef stew, which is delicious and rich and has all that good flavor. But sometimes I just want my mama's beef stew, and that is the truth of it. So I'm doing it the way my mom used to do. So we're gonna go in with half of our meat. We don't wanna overcrowd the pan. We wanna get it brown and beautiful. Now remember, these are gonna cook low and slow for a couple hours, so we just wanna get color on them. We got some big color on the first round. See all that brown and all that flavor already down in the bottom. Let's throw in 1 onion. Just giving those onions a couple minutes to get soft. I'm adding in about 4 cloves of garlic. You want to give it about a minute till it's fragrant. Let's throw in 1/3 of a cup of olive oil and 1/3 of a cup of all-purpose flour. All right, so now what we're gonna do is turn it down just a little bit. You want it to keep going and turning that color. You don't want it like boiling over. But you want it to keep bubbling away because you want it to continuously get that darker color. So for like a milk-based gravy, you're not gonna have to cook it very long, 5 to 6 minutes just to get the flour taste out. For a dark gravy, you let it keep going until it reaches the color that you like, that you want in your beef stew. So we're gonna get pretty dark with this one because that's how my mama used to do it. Our roux has been going for 15 minutes. You can see it's nice and dark. So we're ready to add the rest of our stuff. That's all the work you had to do was the roux. Everything else you're just dumping in and you're done. So I've got a heaping tablespoon of beef bouillon. Stir that into the gravy and let it kind of caramelize as well. How beautiful and dark and gorgeous that is. Get out of here, you know that's gonna be good. Do about a tablespoon of Worcestershire. I always say a tablespoon and then it's more like 2. Let's go in with 4 cups of beef stock. Look at that color. Yes, here we go. I'm already excited about this one. I know it's gonna be good. I know it's gonna taste like my mom was cooking. I'm gonna whisk it just to get all those lumps out. Make sure that gravy is nice and smooth. Let's make sure we get all those brown bits off the bottom. So you're applying pressure with your wooden spoon, applying pressure, pressing down and getting that stuff off the bottom because that is the good flavor. You want that. Waiting on this to come back to a boil. So I've got a teaspoon of salt and all-purpose seasoning. I'm using Morton's, which has salt in it, garlic powder, and dried thyme. And then I've got a couple teaspoons of fresh thyme and a teaspoon and a half of pepper. And 2 bay leaves. 2 bay leaves. Let's add in 2 cups of water. Now for the veggies. So I have 4 stalks of celery, 1.5 cups of baby carrots that I cut in half, and then 4 to 6 potatoes. Mine were really small, so I used 6. Typically, I just use 4 large potatoes. Let's add our meat and all those juices back in. That is already looking amazing. Look at that, that's beautiful. All right, we're gonna bring her up to a boil, and then we're gonna let her simmer, low and slow for a couple of hours. That meat has to cook for a while. It's done at 145, but it's not tender until 195, 200. So you want it going low and slow for a couple of hours. Here we go. Oh, hello, the whole point, 1 cup of peas. And before everybody panics, if you don't like peas, just leave them out. I like the peas. So she's been cooking for about 1.5 hours at like a medium low. So she's bubbling, but not like boiling. And you can see how thick this is and how rich that gravy is. So things I learned. So maybe give the meat 30 minutes by itself, just to bubble away, and then I would add all the vegetables in because they are a little soft. Now, that is how my niece likes her veggies in the beef stew, but they are a little soft for me. So I would probably give them a little time before I added it. Let's taste this baby. Some of that meat and those veggies and that sauce. All right, let's go in for that meat. That is thick and rich and oh my God, absolutely delicious. That meat cooked for an hour and a half and then just sat on low. That meat is so soft and tender. It is so good. Rich gravy base, that deep brown flavor. It is so warm and comforting. And it's not quite as good as my mother's, but it's pretty damn close. Come on in for some beef stew. Dinner's at 6. Don't be late.